Hello everyone and welcome to Simply Spirit. If you're new here, my name is Jen and welcome. And if you've been here before and watched videos and you're back again, thanks for coming back to watch a video. Normally I would be doing this live at 7 Central, 8 p.m. Eastern Standard Time tonight. However, I have a little bit of a migraine and I wanted to at least get a video going since I haven't done one for the last, I think, 3 or 4 weeks. Last week we had Easter, obviously, and then the other weeks I had migraines, so I did not do a video, and I thought this might be an easier way for me to be able to do a video so you guys aren't waiting for something. Not saying that every video is going to be done this way, but there might be some videos done this way simply because of traveling, shows coming up, things are going to get really busy again. As far as my life goes, things are kind of getting back to normal, if you can call that normal. But basically we're going to be traveling, we're going to be able to travel and stuff again, so it's really important for me to be able to provide content for everyone and still be able to keep on track with everything. And there will be some times that I do live videos. They may be on YouTube or they may be on my Facebook page or both, but they're also going to be pre-recorded videos as well. And so some of the other things that I wanted to make an announcement about before we get started is I have been working on my website, and that's jenhodgson.com. And I'm adding new things, and we actually did a complete new layout. I mean, like, we really just redid everything. I'm still kind of working on that, getting some of the words put together for some of the things, and I'm going to be offering a lot of other courses. So I've been kind of working on those courses. I've been redoing my Reiki course, and yeah, there's just a lot of other things coming about. I'm able to sell crystals and stuff now, so I'm kind of looking into that to see where the best places are to purchase crystals, because I don't want to just get any random crystal or anything like that. So I'm really thinking about everything and considering a lot of different things. I'm going to be going back to making candles again, and so that's really important to me as well. So there's a lot of different things going on, and so my time is going to be very limited. So if I have an opportunity to do live videos, I will, but pre-recorded might be something that you will see a little more of than usual. So I know I've been saying we're going to be talking about astrology and do a little bit of a series on astrology. So one of the things that we're going to start out with today is talking about the zodiac signs. And I wanted everybody to kind of get an idea of, if you don't already know what your sign is, that's kind of important. And some of the traits that go along with each and every sign. Just keep in mind that although you're going to hear traits that may not apply to you, it will apply to some other people, but it may not apply to you, if that makes any sense. And if you were born on a cusp, meaning you were born at the end of one sign and you're going into another sign, keep in mind that you might need to, or you should, look at each sign, like Aquarius and Pisces, or Pisces and Aries, that kind of thing. Look at both of those, because you could have traits from both. Just as you're going to read your horoscope, if you were born on a cusp, read both of those, because you never know which it's going to pull from, because again, you're born on that cusp, so you could have traits from either or. And the other thing too is, just because these numbers and everything else is written you know, written down, or you find them on the internet or whatever. Go by what you feel. Trust your instincts and that and everything else. But it does give you a really good guide. You know, when you have your astrological chart done, which I have mine done every year by Benabel Wynn. She offers that with her, she has a planner that's out, and you order the planner and she does your chart. So you kind of have an idea of where all the houses are and, you know, how much is going to be happening, you know, on specific months or whatever. And we will get into the houses and everything else in another video. That's not going to be for today. Today we are just going to focus on the signs. But again, if you go and you have your chart done, you'll start to see little patterns of things. It's kind of like numerology too, because numerology kind of plays a part in this too when it comes to like your lucky numbers and that kind of thing. If you go and you read the description of those, you might see a lot of those patterns too. But numerology kind of gives you a chart too of what to expect in life, just as your chart does. Although, you know, everything changes each and every year, while some things will happen, but maybe not everything. You know, it's kind of like when you have all the pieces, you can kind of decide what you're going to do. It kind of gives you a heads up sort of type of thing. So anyways, let's get into this. So we're going to start with Aquarius. Now, the element for Aquarius is air. The quality is fixed. But when you think of air and the element, you might think of incense or just different things like that. So if you're really drawn to anything that pertains to air, whether it be, like I said, incense or feathers or that kind of thing, think of that. You know, that's a great way if you're going to be working with your sign or anything else. Maybe you have a lot of air things on your altar and you'll be drawn to that kind of thing. That element might be just something easier for you to work with, depending on what you're doing. Now the colors, light blue or silver, that's kind of where they go. That if you think about even the sign, that the color that they give for your birthstone, you know, that can be a color that you're drawn to, but not always. So just keep that in mind. Your day is Saturday. The ruler is Uranus and Saturn. So greatest overall compatibility is Leo and Sagittarius. Now, that doesn't mean that you can't be married to or friends with anybody else who's part of any other sign. What that means is that you are close in things that you like and dislike and that kind of thing. So you're going to get along a little better. It's not going to be as difficult to manage or anything else. But having said that, it can also, you may be with somebody or have been with somebody who is a Sagittarius and you guys didn't get along at all. So don't, you know, hold that as 100% truth and nothing can be changed. Your lucky numbers: 4, 7, 11, 22, and 29. So again, you know, go back to numerology and start looking up the numbers and look at these meanings and stuff and see how it relates to you. You know, is there something that's true to that? Is there not? Do you find patterns where you choose these numbers a lot? You know, think about all of those things when it does that, because it really does give a good idea about who you are. Date range: January the 20th through February the 18th. So here's where we talk about a cusp. Let's say you are born on February the 18th and February the 19th starts out with Pisces, right? So what you would do when you're going to go look at your chart, or even your any type of reading that you're going to have done, look at not just Aquarius, but also look at Pisces. So your strength: you're progressive, original, independent, and a humanitarian. So your weaknesses: runs from emotional expression, temperamental, uncompromising, and aloof. You know, and when I look at these weaknesses, I look at like the shadow aspect. I think that's what comes to mind, is the shadow self. And when you start to look at those and really think about those and be honest with yourself. And, you know, runs from emotional expression. Why do you do that? Is what triggers that makes you want to run? And once you start to get to know those triggers, then you can come up with some solutions that, you know, stop you from doing that. And so you kind of turn that weaknesses into something that becomes more of a strength, because you're learning from that. You can flip the script, so to speak. Now, not everybody is going to have these strengths or weaknesses. And it's going to be in various degrees too. You may have a lot of something and less of something else. Not everything is going to pertain to everybody. Every single person is different. Aquarius likes fun with friends. I think everybody likes to have fun with friends. You know, that's just a given across the board. You like helping others, fighting for causes, intellectual conversation, and a good listener. Intellectual conversation, I think unless you are a narcissist, you pretty much like intelligent conversation. Unless you're just somebody that doesn't, which I guess that's possible too. Aquarius dislikes limitations, broken promises, being lonely, dull, or boring situations, people who disagree with them. Now, I'll tell you right now, I am not an Aquarius, but I don't like broken promises, which I'm sure everybody else doesn't either. I don't like being lonely. And even though you can be, you know, people look at it, well, oh my gosh, this person's around a lot of people all the time. You know, there's people around, he's always doing things. And how can they be lonely? But you can still be around a lot of people and be lonely. You know, if you don't really have a lot in common with somebody else, it can be pretty lonely when you're really craving that conversation, or you're wanting to go do something with somebody and they're just, you know, watching TV or not onto the same page that you are, type of thing. So it can be pretty lonely. Dull or boring situations, I think many of us fall into that situation. I'm one that I don't like to be bored. I don't like to be around dull parties or anything else. It's like, oh my gosh, just get me out of here, right? People who disagree with them. And, you know, I think we all have that where we don't always agree with somebody. But if you're one who gets upset because somebody doesn't agree with you 100%, you really need to look at yourself and ask yourself why you feel that way. What makes you feel like that everybody has to agree with you? You know, really take a look at that. And it's not just Aquarius. There are other people, other signs that have this same issue. This, to me, is a personal issue and something that everybody should kind of check themselves for. And if you do have that shadow aspect, kind of look at that and see why. So, yeah, that's pretty much what I'm going to talk about when it comes to Aries. Aquarius. Then we're going to move on to Pisces, and the element is water. The color is mauve, lilac, purple, violet, sea green. The day is Thursday. The ruler is Neptune and Jupiter. The greatest overall compatibility is Virgo and Taurus. Lucky numbers 3, 9, 12, 15, 18, 24. Date range February 19th to March the 20th. Now, my friend is definitely a Pisces, and she does love the water. Like, growing up, like, we lived across the street from each other. So if she was at either at our house or I was at her house, like, that's just how it is. It was like having a second set of parents. And, you know, if Shannon got into trouble, I got into trouble, and vice versa. You know, so it's just how it went in our world. And we used to go to her aunt's to the pool a lot, or we would go to the beach or something like that. We'd ride our bikes to the park, we'd go to the beach, you know, those kind of things. So she very much loves the water. And her favorite color is purple. And yeah, so some of these are very true for her. Her strengths, compassionate, artistic, intuitive, gentle, wise, and musical. I can very much vouch for every one of these for Shannon. And I'm sure there are other strengths that that the Pisces have, just like an Aquarius. Weaknesses: fearful, overly trusting, sad, desire to escape reality, can be a victim or a martyr. Now, as far as these weaknesses go, you know, I don't see Shannon as being fearful or sad, desire to escape reality, you know, or a victim or a martyr or anything else like that. She is sometimes overly trusting, but I think all of us are to a certain degree. And, you know, sometimes there are people who just are a smooth talker, so to speak, and they can get you to believe anything. And when you begin to trust them, then, you know, you start to see things fall apart when it's too late in a certain way. So, her likes: being alone, sleeping, music, romance, visual media, swimming, and spiritual things. You know, Shannon's not one that, yeah, she's okay with being alone, but she's okay with being with a lot of people too. She's kind of like me. She's a chameleon when it comes to that. You know, Shannon and I'm an Aries, if that tells you anything. And we get along great. We've been friends for like our entire life practically. Like we went all the way through school together, pretty much. Well, we didn't go to school all the way together because she had to go to a Christian school, but you know, we went through elementary together, went through some high school together, and you know, there was always that. And so yeah, I mean, and even after not seeing each other, we lost touch with each other for a long time. When we did talk, it was like we just picked up right where we left. And she knows and understands that if she asks me a question, she's going to get the truth, whether she wants to hear that truth or not. That's just how I am. I'm very outspoken and straightforward and to the point. And sometimes people can't handle that and they get their feelings hurt. And so yeah, that would be kind of like Aquarius. Aquarius would not like my answers. Let's put it that way. Or anybody else who has a problem with people who disagree with them. They would not like my answers. They probably wouldn't like to hang out with me very much for that reason. So, but anyways, Pisces dislikes a know-it-all, being criticized, the past coming back to haunt, cruelty of any kind. And she does not mind having things pointed out. And I'm the same way. You know, if I'm doing something or whatever it is and I'm not realizing it, or if I ask you your opinion, then I want your honest answer. And she is the same. So, yeah, so don't always buy into that you have to be around certain people for that to happen. Let's see. Now we're going to go into Aries. And the element is fire, obviously. And, of course, I love fire. So I love burning incense, which is also kind of like an air element. But I also love burning candles and that kind of thing. So I'm definitely a fire. And, you know, red is the color for that. We're the ram. You know, we're the people who are the pioneers. And, you know, we get things started. Don't always finish things, but we do get things started. And we do make things fun and interesting. We're very competitive. And you'll see as I read through these, I mean, it's very straightforward and to the point. So the element is fire. Color is red. The day is Tuesday. The ruler is Mars. Greatest overall compatibility is Libra and Leo. I am married to a Libra. We do not always see things eye to eye, which is okay. Yeah, that's just kind of how it is. You know, we don't get upset if the other person doesn't see our point of view. So it is what it is. Lucky numbers 1, 8, and 17. Now, personally, my lucky number is number 15. So, date range March 21st to April the 19th. Strengths: courageous, determined, confident, enthusiastic, optimistic, honest, and passionate. Yep, absolutely. Now, my confidence, it took me a long time to grow that confidence. And a lot of that I think had to do with growing up and not having that other person to kind of, you know, encourage me or anything else. I pretty much had to be my own cheerleader growing up. So my confidence kind of lacked a little bit there. And then being in an abusive relationship prior to this marriage, you know, really didn't help any. But there were certain things and certain people and certain situations that kind of helped that grow along the way. And so now I am 100% back and a force to be reckoned with. So that's the good thing about all of that. So my weaknesses: I'm impatient, moody, short-tempered, impulsive, and aggressive. Impatient, yes. Moody, not so much. Short-tempered, yes, very much so. Impulsive, not really. Aggressive, not really. I am, sometimes I can be impulsive, but not always. Most of the time I like to think things through, and I like to use my intuition to make a decision. But when it comes to really important decisions, I like to research all of that and not just make a snap decision. As I said with the crystals, you know, I mean, yes, there are plenty of companies out there, and you know, some people would just say, okay, well, let's just go do this. No, let's not do that. Let's do our research first. Let's do our homework. Now, if you're going to say, hey, Jen, let's go and let's travel to wherever, and we're leaving on Tuesday, my bags will be packed and ready to go. Like, I won't even give it a second thought. I'll be just like, let's go. If it comes to traveling or doing something fun, I'm all for it. When it comes to other things that's really going to impact my life or somebody else's life in a major way, then I do think things through and, like, you know, kind of do the pros and the cons type of thing before I will make a decision. So, what I like: comfortable clothes, absolutely. Taking on leadership roles, absolutely. Roles, not rows. Roles. Physical challenges. I do like challenges in a way. Individual sports. Okay, so when it comes to sports, I would rather be playing them than watching them, absolutely. But I'm not so much a sporty type of person. You know, if you want me to go lift weights with you or something like that, I'm all for it. If you want me to go on a walk with you, I'm all for it. Can I lift weights and go for a walk all by myself? Absolutely. You know, I'm all for that. But when it comes to like other sports, yeah, no. I'm not so much as into that kind of thing. Dislikes: inactivity, delays, work that does not use one's talents. Absolutely, absolutely, 100%. I'm a person who likes to be active, who likes to be doing things, and yes, that's where the overachiever comes into. It's not being a brown noser or anything else. I just like to be busy. I don't like to have downtime. And if I do have downtime, I mean, which doesn't happen very often. I think most of my downtime comes probably at night, when I'm watching like an hour or two of TV or something like that. But even then, most of the time I'm doing something else at the same time. Like, I rarely have downtime. Delays, I absolutely hate delays. I just hate them. It's like you're delaying me from doing something else and it throws my schedule off. I really don't like delays. And work that doesn't use one's talents, yes, I think it's a shame, and I think it's a waste that people don't use their talents to the fullest potential that they can. And you know, I'm one that will push people to do that. I will push you out of your comfort zone because I know you can do much more. So that's very much true about me. And as I just said, I do speak my truth. I do speak my mind. So that's pretty much true for many Aries people that I know. When it comes to Taurus, your element is earth. Colors are green and pink. Your day is Friday and Monday. And your ruler is Venus. Your greatest overall compatibility is Scorpio and Cancer. Lucky numbers 2, 6, 9, 12, and 24. Date range April 20th through May 20th. And I will be honest, I do not get along with somebody who, when I was married to a Taurus, we did not get along at all. He had a lot of other issues though. He saw a lot of things growing up, and that's something to take into consideration too when you're looking at your signs and looking at your traits and everything else. Look at your environment and your surroundings type of thing, because that will also impact how you are as a person. If you grew up and you saw a bunch of verbal abuse, mental abuse, or you suffered from that as well, chances are pretty good if you don't deal with that, you're going to continue that cycle. So that's something to kind of look at. Your strengths: reliable, patient, practical, devoted, responsible, and stable. And the Taurus that I was married to is none of those. Like none at all. Zero. The Taurus that I was married to had less patience than I did. So weaknesses: stubborn, possessive, uncompromising. Very much true. Taurus likes gardening, cooking, music, romance, high quality clothes, working with hands. Working with hands I can see in the person that I know. As far as the rest of it, not so much. Taurus dislikes sudden changes, complications, insecurity of any kind, synthetic fabrics. Yeah, so there's a lot I could say about that, but I'm going to leave it there because I'm probably not the person to be commenting on that. Anyways, we're going to go on to Gemini. Now, my girls are Gemini. Both of my girls, actually. It's kind of crazy. They are 4 years and 5 days apart. So elements is air. The color is light green and yellow. Neither one of my girls like light green or yellow. The day is Wednesday, and the ruler is Mercury. Greatest over compatibility: Sagittarius and Aquarius. Lucky numbers 5, 7, 14, 23. Date range May 21st to June 20th. Their strengths: gentle, affectionate, curious, adaptable, ability to learn quickly and exchange ideas. This I can definitely see in every one of these in my oldest, and not everything on my youngest. Weaknesses: nervous, inconsistent, and indecisive. For my oldest, the nervous. The other two, not so much. Gemini likes music, books, magazines, chats with nearly anyone. That's so true of my girls. Short trips around the town. Gemini dislikes being alone, being confined, repetition, and routine. Now, my oldest, she likes routine. She needs something that's routine. My youngest, not so much. So, just taking those, that kind of gives you an idea of the likes and dislikes and the differences. And take into consideration, your genes too, of your parents. Like I'm an Aries, their father is a Taurus, so they're Gemini, and so they have traits from each other. And so that plays a lot into it as well. Cancer. The element is water. The color is white. Your day is Monday and Thursday. The ruler is the moon. Greatest overall compatibility: Capricorn and Taurus. Lucky numbers 2, 3, 15, 20. Date range June 21st to July 22nd. Your strengths are tenacious, highly imaginative, loyal, emotional, sympathetic, and persuasive. Weaknesses: moody, pessimistic, suspicious, manipulative, insecure. Cancer likes art, home-based hobbies, relaxing near or in water, helping loved ones, a good meal with friends. Cancer dislikes strangers, any criticism of mom, revealing a personal life. Now, any criticism of mom, I think that many of us, if not everyone, has a problem with other people talking bad about their parents, especially their mom. So I wouldn't say that's just a trait strictly for them. Leo is fire. Their colors are gold, yellow, and orange. Day is Sunday. The ruler is sun. Lucky numbers 1, 3, 10, and 19. Date range July 23rd, August 22nd. Strengths: creative, passionate, generous, warm-hearted, cheerful, and humorous. Weaknesses: arrogant, stubborn, self-centered, lazy, inflexible. Leo likes theater, taking holidays, being admired, expensive things, bright colors, fun with friends. Leo dislikes being ignored, facing difficult reality, not being treated like a king or a queen. So, and again, a lot of these likes and dislikes you're going to find throughout many of the zodiac signs and just people in general. They're very common, so just, you know, just because it's under one sign doesn't mean that nobody else can be that way. Virgo, the element is earth. The colors are gray, beige, pale yellow. The day is Wednesday, and I do know a Virgo, and none of those are her color. Ruler is Mercury. Greatest overall compatibility is Pisces and Cancer. Lucky numbers 5, 14, 15, 23, and 32. Date range August 23rd to September the 2nd. Strengths, local, Lord have mercy. Loyal, analytical, kind, hardworking, practical. Weaknesses, shyness, worry, overly critical of self and others, all work and no play. Virgo likes animals, healthy food, books, nature, cleanliness. Virgo dislikes rudeness, asking for help, taking center stage. And the Virgo that I know, she's definitely not shy. She does worry. She's overly critical of herself, but not so much of others. She is not all work and all play. She, you know, has no problem taking center stage, and she is, yeah. So yeah, that one, you know, again. And then we come to Libra, which is the element is air. The colors pink and green. The day is Friday. Libra does not like pink or green in my house. The day is Friday. The ruler is Venus. Greatest overall compatibility, Aries and Sagittarius. Lucky numbers 4, 6, 13, 15, and 24. Date range September 23rd, October 22nd. And strengths, cooperative, diplomatic, gracious, fair-minded, and social. Weaknesses, indecisive, avoids confrontations, will carry a grudge and self-pity. Violence, injustice, loudmouth, and conformity. Scorpio, element is water. Color is scarlet red or rust. Day is Tuesday. The ruler is Pluto and Mars. Greatest overall compatibility, Taurus and Cancer. Lucky numbers 8, 11, 18, 22nd. Date range October 23rd, November 21st. The strengths, resourceful, brave, passionate, stubborn, a true friend. Weaknesses, distrusting, jealous, secretive, violent. Scorpio likes truth, facts, being right, longtime friends. Teasing, a grand passion. Scorpio dislikes dishonesty, revealing secrets, and passive people. Sagittarius, element is a fire. Color is blue. Day is Thursday. Ruler Jupiter. Greatest overall compatibility, a Gemini and an Aries. And lucky numbers 3, 7, 9, 12, 21. Date range November 22nd, December 21st. The strengths, generous, idealistic, great sense of humor. Weaknesses, promises more than can deliver. Very impatient, will say anything no matter how undiplomatic. Sagittarius likes freedom, travel, philosophy, being outdoors. Sagittarius dislikes clingy people, being constrained, off-the-wall theories, and details. And Capricorn, the element is earth. The color is brown and black. The day is Saturday. The ruler is Saturn. Greatest overall compatibility is Taurus and Cancer. Lucky numbers 4, 8, 13, 22. Date range December 21st or 22nd. Good Lord. January the 19th. Strengths, responsible, disciplined, self-control, good managers. Weaknesses, know-it-all, unforgiving, condescending, expecting the worst. Capricorn likes family, tradition, music, understated status, quality, craftsmanship. Dislikes almost everything at some point. I think that's true for everybody, quite honestly. You know, and again, you know, just because something I said about one of the signs doesn't mean that everybody is like that, or that you will have all of the likes or dislikes, or all of the strengths or weaknesses. Every person is different, but it does give you kind of like an idea of who you are. So next week, hopefully we can go through the houses and kind of start to build a little bit of that. But I thought this would be a good way to kind of start that out. If you don't know what your sign is, which I don't know, maybe there is somebody out there that doesn't know what their sign is, but if you don't, now's the time to go kind of look at that, check that out, and see where you're at, kind of thing. I'm also going to share with you some books next week on astrology that I find very helpful. And I do know that Benabel Wen teaches an astrology course. If you go to her website, benabelwen.com, I think is what it is. It's a self-paced course, but it's really cool. I mean, I'm taking that course. I'm still learning about astrology. There's so much to learn about astrology. There's different ways to kind of go about astrology. She does her charts in one way, and then there is another way that you can do that, and I think it's cafe something something. If you put in astrology charts, you can do that. But I also have another friend who also does astrology charts, and I will have all of her information for you next week as well. So if you're interested in having that done by her or by Benabel, you can do that. So before I end this, I want to let everybody know that we have some things coming up. Starting off with Monday, of course, we have Psychics Unite. It is on Zoom for now, and that is at 6:30 Central, 7:30 Eastern Standard Time. And if you go to psychicsunite.com, you will find the link. If you want to join one of the groups on Facebook, depending on where you live, you can absolutely do that. I am the chapter director for the Psychics Unite Southeast chapter, and I do have a group, so if you want to join that group, by all means do that. There's one in, there's quite a few in Ohio, there's some in Florida, there is some in other states too, so you just have to kind of go check it out. I've lost track of how many groups that we have that's part of Psychics Unite, but I promise you, you will find many Psychics Unite groups, and a lot of us actually do Zoom meetings. So even if you don't have one in your state or your area, feel free to join either mine or Devin's. We do Zoom meetings for our chapter, and there are some others too, so absolutely check it out. But again, that starts out Monday. On Tuesday, we have Devin Evans with Truth Bumps, and her channel, oh my gosh, her show is on Shadowhunters Paranormal Investigations and Events at 7 Central. That is located on Facebook. And on Wednesday, we have Scotty Rourke with the Scotty Rourke Show, and it's on Shadowhunters Paranormal Investigations and Events at 7 p.m. Central. And then on Thursday, we have Oracle Thursday with Sharon Moritz, and again, it's on Shadowhunters Paranormal Investigations and Events at 7 p.m. And then on Friday, we have Greg Koss with his show called The Shadow Hour on Shadowhunters Paranormal Investigations and Events. Again, that's at 7 p.m. Central. And then we have my show, which is on Sundays, which is at 7 p.m. Central, 8 Eastern Standard Time, and most of the time I will be going live. However, this week I'm just doing it this way for migraine reasons, and hopefully next week I'll be able to go live and do the show. But if not, I will pre-record it and it will be posted up so that everyone will be able to view it. And you know, if when I'm traveling, because like I said, I will be doing some traveling. I have some traveling coming up. This month I have a lot of traveling coming up. Next month I think I'm home in June. I'm not home so much in July. I have somewhere else I have to be in August and September and October and November. So it just varies. I'm not always here. But I'm also part of another collab channel, and so I will be making videos for that channel as well. So anyways, with all of that said, I hope you enjoyed this video. If you have any questions or comments, please put those below and I will definitely answer. Be sure to subscribe and like and hit the little bell for the notifications, so every time that I upload a video or every time that I go live, you will be notified and not miss anything. So yeah, that's pretty much it until next week and Monday, or anywhere else on Facebook or in our Zoom meeting. I'll see you later. Bye-bye.